design. Now you can draw tiny skinny spokes, you can draw the fattest spokes in the world, doesn't matter. That little design, you can draw hearts, you can put whatever shape you want as long as you can draw it using these tools here, and in the end have one open design, because when you click on it, it needs to have it all with the dots on it when you hit the select. So spacebar, hit select, you want that all to be filled as in one spot. Because our next trick is we're going to rotate that. Now, if I rotated it around the circle, it would move it. What I want to do is copy it. So, in a sec, when you press the control button, just look at the word on face on the screen, you'll see a dot come up. That's the copy. So when I press control, it turns on the dot, and that means I'm going to copy whatever I click on. And then I'm going to put the dot on the origin. This is important because that I'm telling the program that I'm going to rotate it around the center. If you click somewhere else, it'll rotate around here and just spin it around in circles. So click on the origin, the yellow point, first. Now come up that line and put the red dot right in the middle of your shape. Okay. Now when you move it, you'll notice that it comes away. Alright, so it's going to copy it. If it leaves it and there's no shape there back where it was, you've forgotten to put the dot there. Okay. Now you can't have them overlap like that if you're going to 3D print it, because it will just, the center of the wheel will fall out. It'll make sense later. I'll show it to you. They need to be apart at least a couple of millimeters. Now if you know your maths here, if you look at the angle down the bottom, you want to work in multiples that are going to finish back at here being the last one. So if you're going to have 4 pieces, they're 90 degrees apart. If you're going to have 5 pieces, 72 apart. 6 pieces, 60 degrees apart. So this one, I can have 6 of these. There's my 60 degrees there. So if you want to type in 60 for your angle, press enter. And you're saying to me, you've only copied it once. All right, I want another. If there's going to be 6 of them, I need to copy it 5 times. If there's 7 of them, I'll copy it 6 times. However many you want, take one number off, type in the number 5 for me, and X 5 times. Press enter. There's my array, what you call an array tool, or rotate and copy. So there's my 6 spokes for my wheel. So again, just a reminder for that one, if you want me to go back a couple of steps, on Control Z, I'm going to do this copy feature again. So if I just hit the spacebar, I'm on select tool, what you want to do, select, using select or spacebar, click inside the area so it's nice and grey. So that's what I'm focusing on copying on. I'm then going to go over and go on my rotate tool. So I've now got the circle of the protractor to show I'm going to rotate, but don't forget to press CTRL or control, and that gives you a little dot next to the unlock plane. Alright, the third thing you need to do is put your origin, the dot right on the origin to make it go yellow. Come up the line and put the dot in the middle of the shape, and then click on the left mouse button again and move it away. Now if you wanted them set it, I'm going to do it 5 times this time, so I'm going to have 5 of them, which means 72 degrees. So I'm typing 72, enter, there's my 72 degrees, and because I'm having 5, take one number off, I need 4x, and press enter. So there's my 4 spokes. Alright. You can set that however you like. So there's the old 5 spoke. If you had 5 wheel nuts on an old Falcon or a Commodore, they traditionally, your customer cars have 5 wheel nuts, so they have 5 spokes. If it's a 4-wheel drive, they have 6 spokes because they have 6 wheel nuts. You could have a racing Formula 1 car and it might have 20 spokes, but you need to work out the maths between each. Alright. Now, I've got my shapes there, so spacebar to select. What I want to do now is click on each of them, select them, but every time I click on one, it takes away from the other. So to do that, to select multiple items at once, hold down Control and click each one while you're holding Control button down. It selects the inside of all of them. And to delete anything, it's just a delete button. Alright, so now I've got my solid disk minus the space in there. Now some of the students in my other classes went ahead and extracted something out of here, but you've got to work out the exact angle between the two, so halfway between this one and 72 degrees is 36 degrees. So you really need to draw a line at 36 degrees, or move one of these 36 degrees first, or even draw a line here, rotate it 36 degrees, and then draw something in there. it takes a bit of skill and practice, but that just shows if you're keen and you're good at it, that's how you're going to pick up some extra marks to draw something in here. You can draw circles, whatever you like. Just remember, keep that center clear. Okay, last bit, we can do it last, or we can do it now. I'm going to chuck in that little tiny circle at the center. It would be ideal, don't forget to type in 96S to make it a nice and smooth circle. And it's got to be, it should be 5, but let's make it 4. Make it a 4 diameter, which means it's going to be 2 radius. So press 2, enter. There's our circle. Space bar to select it, and delete. So there's our circle for the center of the wheel. Alright, now we're looking from above. Let's get the orbit tool going. So this orbit tool, and just click and drag it up by holding the mouse wheel, and you'll see it's flat as a tack. It's 0. It's not even paper thickness. It's just a design. Our push pull tool is we're gonna click on. Get out of this habit of clicking and holding, because what happens is when you let go, you move the mouse, it can't do anything more. So Control Z, click and let go straight away, and I can drag up and down, up and down, up and down as long as I want. So that's just click the mouse, let go, and then drag, and then I'm going to type in 1 millimeter. 1, or just, you don't need the millimeter, 1, and press enter, and that's 1 millimeter thick. Alright, or go back 1. I'm going to go, let's do a bit different. If you've already done that, don't worry, do it again and go at 4, but I'm going to go at 5 millimeters. So there's my maximum width of my wheel. You can make it 2, you can make it 3, you can make it 4. That's if you want a solid wheel. Alright, now what I want to do is I want to go inside the wheel and drag some back down to make it thin. It's a little bit harder. So it's always good to select the surface, because if I draw a circle now, it's going to draw the circle down the bottom. I want to draw the circle at the top. So I've selected the top surface and I'll click on top view. So now if I go to draw a circle and put it on the origin point, alright, there you go, this is a problem. I'll shut my mouth. I'm going to turn the orbit tool up a bit, ever so slightly, so I can still see the center. I'm going to go put the circle tool. It's down the bottom. You can move it around to get it up the top. Alright, we don't want the circle behind there. We want it on top. I might have to do this one in class and show you. It took a bit of fiddling around to get this one. Let's try a slightly different way. You can see where you move it around, you don't want it touching any of the circle there. What happens is it actually sits up high there. There it is. You can see you want the blue line on top. So I'll just show you that one again, how we got it. When you got the circle tool, put it on the origin, on the center. But I'm just moving the mouse up slightly. And you can still see the circle is perfectly round inside the other circle. So if I click there now and drag out, go all the way up, halfway between sort of the spoke and the edge of the wheel. Click there, space bar, and I want to select this part, and I'm going to do the push-pull tool. Now I can move it up or down. I want it just slightly down, and because we're going to come up 5, I'm going to go back down 4. 4 and enter. So there's my final design. Remember I showed you that at the start of the video, how it was quite rough in there? It's because I drew another circle and didn't type in 96S for the first time when I opened the program back up. This time I have, so it's a nice smooth circle in there. So there's your wheel. Alright, from there that should give you enough to draw any wheel you like. You want to add to that, by all means. Plenty of tutorials online. Good luck, guys. If they've changed this program in the last couple of days, you guys will have this export STL. That's all you've got to do to make it a 3D model. So see, I've got Untitled up here, File, Save, CO2 car, give it a nice wheel, put your name on it, because when you go to print them, we want to see your name on there, CO2 car Peterson. And this is the file extension, SKP, means it's only going to work in SketchUp, it's useless anywhere else. Hit save, and then you can now see my wheel name up the top. If I go down to export STL,